If I turn my microphone on, things get awesome. Good evening, everyone. It is June 26th in 2025, and it is episode 11. And this is our our first car episode because why the hell not? So I got some really great submissions. I think I know which one I like best. We'll see. And and there may be some surprises. So and then hi there, Autobot Al. Hello, how are you? Uh Benjamin. No, I'm not taking the entire summer off. I can't afford to. I don't live the billionaire lifestyle. I was not busy with puzzle. I was busy with oh my god. Uh oh, this isn't working. Uh-oh. So I had technical difficulties and I was like, what, a minute late? Not even. Come on, cut me some slack. Cut me some slack. All right. So this has been quite fascinating this week. I went with the purple tonight to give it that whole I don't know bordello kind of look, and it makes the green Mopar. Actually, I should move it up a little bit. It makes the green Mopar thing look a little bit a little better. I thought it gives it a little bit more a little more pop right there. But okay, so uh, on to the actual show. Oh God, Benjamin puzzles were replaced with a replica, just like the Paul is a dead rumor of the '60s. No, no, no. She's being a diva tonight, though. So she's not going to be joining us. Uh, it's just the cats do these things, so this is kind of where we are. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of news stories. Then we're going to kind of get into our first car contest, talk about whatever, because it's fascinating. And I'm also going to talk about first cars because, I had to do this with my intrepid assistant, also known as my daughter. And because, driving, teenager driving. And so I had to, was looking at cars for her because that's what you do. And yeah, that was mind numbing. But first, let's do a little look at Stellantis. But this is actually kind of something interesting because, oops, that's not it. There it is. So Stellantis shuts down Maserati sale rumors again. Okay. Despite the rocky stretch for Maserati, Stellantis says the brand is not for sale. Look at that. That's a sexy car. That's the the G2 Stradale. Oh, that's so sexy. According to a report from Reuters, speculation has resurfaced that Stellantis may sell its struggling Italian brand. The reason, falling sales. Isn't that always the problem with Maserati? Maserati is constantly always in trouble. They got rid of products. They don't know where they want to go with it. At first, they were going to go all electric, and I'm kind of summarizing this. But the one thing, respectfully, Maserati is not for sale, a spokesman told Reuters, reaffirming their commitment to keeping the iconic brand in-house. Still, there's fuel for the fire, according to anonymous sources cited Reuters. Stellantis hired a global consulting firm, McKinsey, in April to assess the business impact on newly imposed U.S. tariffs. As part of the review, McKinsey was reportedly instructed to explore all options for Maserati, including the possibility of sale. God, that's MC20. I've seen one of these. That is a beautiful car. The source also claimed that the internal disagreement with Stellantis board, some believe Maserati is worth keeping. It's the only authentic luxury brand. Others argue that the company doesn't have the financial flexibility to continue supporting, especially with the brand bleeding cash and new products years away. Well, and here to explain, they got rid of the Glibi, the Quattroporte, which were good sellers, and they don't have any replacements because they were going to go electric. So they're stuck with the Gran Turismo Coupe, the Gran Capito convertible, and the MC20 supercar. So literally, and they say it's a very brutal competition. Alfa Romeo, another Stellantis owned Italian brand, which makes real garbage, is undergoing a makeover, and the company must ensure its products don't clash with those of Maserati. There's no way that you can you can look at a Maserati and don't think and confuse it for an Alfa Romeo. I mean that I don't understand that part of this article I don't understand, but and part of the the interest I have with Maserati is that it is the biggest brand, but the funny thing with Stellantis at this time is that their chairman of the board is the grandson of the founder of Fiat, and Fiat had a massive involvement with Maserati. In fact, owning it at one time, and that's how it ended up here. I mean, they ended up owning it. It was at Ferrari, and then it got sold off from Ferrari. Ferrari split off to itself, and I honestly that was probably the downfall of the current Maserati. And I have a little more interest because I'm doing a video right now on the Chrysler TC by Maserati, and that's a very interesting thing that happened. Yes, Vintage 76 Garage. There's nothing wrong with a Fiat 131 except, well, everything. No, I'm just teasing. Vintage 76 Garage. Yes, I think I got like 6 or 7, which is, hey, I'm pretty excited. I was expecting almost nothing. I thought I was going to give myself a shirt or a mug or something. But yeah, no. They all came in. I'm very, very excited. But what's really been funny though is that the classic car news has been really, really, really slow. Not a lot of big stuff coming from auctions lately. Very, very weird. Kind of sluggish. It's been really slow. So that's why I'm kind of doing some stuff on newer, like news stories on newer cars because, Jesus, it's really been slow. The GTD won the Nürburgring 24 hours, the Mustang. So Ford actually has a race program again. So that's something, and, we also have to look forward to this because, the death of the, oh my goodness, the death of, I can't get rid of this thing. I want to read this news story because the death of the electric car is really coming fast. And you could kind of see it at this point. It's actually kind of fascinating because companies like, I don't know. BMW, the combustion engine is our foundation. Why are you saying this? Oh, that's right, because your electric stuff is not selling. It argues that the future is electric. They don't say when in the future, but they say it's the future. But it's funded by today's gas engines, which means they need to sell cars now. Many car makers rushed off to set cutoff dates for combustion engines, only to backtrack on their lofty electric goals just a few years later. But the BMW didn't break any promises for the simple reason that it never announced an end to gas-powered cars. Yes, we're looking at you, Audi. Audi was supposed to, I think 3 or 4 years from now, was supposed to go completely away from gas cars. That didn't work so well. In a new interview with the German business newspaper Otto Bilek, a senior BMW official, stated the combustion engine is our foundation, will also finance our future business. Klaus von Moltke is the plant manager of BMW's Stade factory in Austria, where 1.2 million engines are built last year. Holy crap. He added the development of conventional powertrains will continue to secure the ICE's future engineers to make the 3 to 8 cylinder engines compliant with upcoming Euro 7 regulations, which they need to undo. So, I mean, that's pretty much the gist of this, which is very, very interesting how fast they have backtracked on going, oh my God, we got to make all electric cars. Yep, we're going to have, everything's going to be electric. And now we're at the point where it's like, yeah, no, we were just kind of kidding about the electric cars. Now, we're going to build more gas cars. I even Stellantis is at the point where they're going, we fire out that Hemi plant because we need something in these things because I can't. Oh wait, am I not on? It says I'm live. What the hell? Let's see. Am I live? Is that working? Oh wow. Okay, there I am. Huh. All right. I have no idea. Wait, can you guys even see me? Wait, am I like doing? I'm on. Oh, stop messing with me tonight. Oh my God. Vintage. Why are you doing this? I know I forgot to hit the thing on Stupidgram because I'm new at Stupidgram. Oh my God, please. No, everybody's gonna mess with me. It's Memorex. It's me. So I told you I'm gonna get to the first car stuff pretty soon. So I was just going to talk about couple things that happened because there's not a lot of old car news. It's just really been weird. Well, I guess it's June. We're kind of in a lull. Jesus Christ. So talking about first cars. Okay. So before we get into it, but you know, the thing is, a lot of people that sent in their first cars. I mean, these were cars that years ago, and I bet a lot of people didn't spend an arm and a leg to get any of these cars because I was looking at cars for my daughter, the Intrepid Assistant, and oh my God, it was brutal. I mean, honestly, it was ungodly brutal, and yeah, I mean, I was looking at junk for $2,000, junk, and I just remembered like when we bought my Charger, my first car. Well, I guess here. Take the info off. When I first bought this car, well, my uncle bought it. What this car? It was $823, and this is in 1985, and it's from a dealer. That was not. That was not. A private sale. It was from a dealer, and that's what they paid to trade on this car. Of course, it looked like what I used for the trailer, not the trailer, the thumbnail for here. It was rough. I mean, it had rust on it. It was tired. But you know, you know, cars back then, if you went and you looked even through the 90s, you could look and you could find a car for $500 that you could use for a while, and actually everything may actually work on it. You may have to do some work to the car, but it was a usable car at that point, and it's quite startling when you go now and you look at 20-year-old cars, 20-year-old cars. I literally I'm not kidding. There are 20-year-old cars on like Facebook Marketplace that are $3,000 and they have 170,000 miles on them and they need $3,000 worth of work. And and honestly, it's kind of disturbing. Um Ed Rooney, that's 25-20 in today's money. Yes and no. And I'm gonna prove I'm gonna and that's kind of one of my point is on this. Obviously our money's been devalued like nobody's business. That's why a new car is $50,000 today and not 10. It's the money, as they said, if in economic circles, it's the money stupid. Um, but cars were affordable. That $800 though was not even working in a gas station. I could afford that car. Working in a gas station, I could afford that car without even. I mean, I put away my I was it was my graduation present for high school, even though I got it when I was 16. But I graduated when I was 17. Graduation present for high school. But I put work into that car, but I had all the money to pay for everything to fix it. It was maybe another $1,000 in it at that point. And I could easily do that. Now, if somebody trying to go out and buy one of these cars, because I saw a 2014 Toyota Camry, 160,000 miles on it. It's a Toyota Camry. It's nothing special. Toyota Camry, and it was $11,000. 11. It's a 10-year-old car. I mean, it's 10 years old. It is out of warranty. It's old. I mean, it really is old. The only thing is in Florida, they don't rust. I mean, that's the big thing, unless you're down by the beach and it rusts. But other than that, no, there's no reason for it to have this type of price tag though, because I mean, it's an ancient car. And then, the other thing is like BMW. So I'm partial to the newer BMWs. It's just it's just a thing of mine. I find them very uh especially anything before 2006, I find them actually not that hard to work on, and the parts are readily available. But I mean, when you look at a 3 Series from, oh, I don't know, 2002, and they want 3 grand for it. My favorite is the 3 Series that they say that, oh, has an overheating problem, which means the head gasket's blown, which means the motor's trash. But then they want 2,500 for a car. And that's where we're talking about, the thing is, well, Marketplace Vintage 76 is really the only place to look for stuff anymore, if you really think about it, because, where else are you gonna look for, people listing stuff? I mean, honestly, does anybody else have any other place, where you list stuff? Because I can't really figure any other places to list stuff or to look for things, because that's like the place where everybody is there. Uh, I mean, all the other like Craigslist is as dead as a doornail. I mean, that literally is just for serial killers at this point. Honest to God, I can't even imagine anybody trying to sell anything on Craigslist. And so the marketplace to sell cars is really kind of dried up where you're on Marketplace, or worse, eBay Motors, which you want to talk about crazy, go look on eBay Motors. You want to actually think that Marketplace is sane once you go look at eBay Motors. eBay Motors is absolutely batshit. I mean, seriously. Oh, here we go. Dennis, do you what made you favorite BMW? Did a neighbor or friend have one influence? Okay, so picture this. Sicily. No. Um, so the way this happened, my uncle worked at the at Rapid Transit in Staten Island, and his buddy Brian worked with him down there too. And Brian was single and had a lot of cash, and so I'd hang out with my uncle all the time. I was 12, 12 years old, and he said, "Hey, my buddy Brian bought a new car." And it was like, "Hey, it's a BMW 318i. You want to go for a ride?" Sure, why not? So I got into this 318 I that he had just bought a few weeks later. He had already changed out the stereo system to a Blaupunkt. It had, I don't know how many watts of power, but it was crazy. And then he had gone and he put a full Bilstein suspension on the car. He had actually changed out the springs and the shocks and the struts on this brand new car. And he'd done all this work for handling on this brand new BMW 318i. And we went in this car and we went around corners that I could not fathom. I mean, we were making almost right-hand turns of 40 miles an hour. I mean, the car was psychotic. It wasn't that fast in a straight line. The 318 really wasn't a oomph motor, but the way the suspension was set up on this car, we were going through corners because Staten Island is very, very curvy, and we were going through corners just like unbelievable. And that's why I always, when every time I bought a BMW, because the first song I heard in this car was uh "You Give Love a Bad Name." And it literally, so I've played that every time I've bought a BMW. That is a song I play immediately in the car. I know that's really gay, but I do that because it's a memory from that car. I mean, because I couldn't hear anything but the song. It was so friggin' loud in that back seat. It was absolutely painful, but it was fun. I mean, that car was just absolutely ungodly quick around corners, and it stopped like, I mean, compared to what we had for American cars, this thing was absolutely light years ahead of everything. So, uh, so I literally, at that point go, these are actually good cars. They were above my price range for quite a long time, because I was going to college and stuff. And so I had really incredibly great cars like a 40 XP. The first year, the 82, the super duper ugly car. It it didn't handle like a BMW. Then I had a Thunderbird, a 95 Thunderbird with the V8 in it, and that was good until it wasn't. That car also handled pretty crappy. And the brake, I used to destroy brakes in it. I actually would only get 15,000 miles out of brakes in that car. I wonder why. Yeah. So why is everybody messing with me in the chat? This is not good. So that's why I BMW. So then I bought a brand new BMW in 2002. I bought a 325 with a stick, and I loved that car. Then I bought a 330 with a sequential gearbox, and those cars never let me down. I mean, honest to God, I had those cars for a total of 6 years, and they never ever let me down. My Thunderbird let me down a lot. I blew up 3 torque converters in that car. So this was pretty impressive stuff. So then the current 89 BMW I got, we actually got when my wife was in a massive accident in her F250. And the literally she needed a set of wheels, so I actually went out and found an E30, and I bought that car for $2,000. Actually 1,900. I beat the guy down. So yeah. Uh, no, 4339 JK. Just because it's Toyota doesn't mean it should be 10 grand. It should be $11,000 at 10 years old. That's psychotic. That car was only 25 grand new. Hold on, the puzzle wants to arrive. Okay. The puzzle has arrived. I don't know if she's going to go camera, but the puzzle's here. Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's just psychotic, especially at 138 or 168,000 miles. They had a lot of miles on it. So there's like cattail. So yeah, that was just kind of craziness at that point. So yeah, that's my long short story of um of why I favor BMWs. Plus, honestly, they're not that hard to work on. That 95 convertible, I've done a lot of stuff on it, and the hardest thing was the convertible top. I mean, the rest of the stuff was just normal hard work because, like, the clutch in your garage is not an easy job. It's a absolute utter pain in the ass. But other than that, I mean, everything else has been fairly simple and not a bad thing. So and the parts are plentiful. Yes, puzzle is part of the show. She's going to keep my lap extremely warm right now, even though it's 90 degrees outside. Yay. So, okay, let's yeah, and I actually kind of had this whole thing cuz this is kind of interesting. You talk about like used cars and stuff. To show you how this has gotten how we've gotten to where we are. This is the Federal Reserve. They have like all these indices out there. It's kind of crazy. And in this indices, 1984 is 100. Okay, that's like it. That's like if something's $100, it's 100 then. But if you look up until 1972, when Nixon took us off the gold standard, the price of used cars was pretty much consistently consistent. They were cheap. They were literally dirt cheap. They absolutely were dirt cheap because I know lots of people that bought, good used cars, in the early 70s, $50, $100. Hell, my uncle would buy a car in the 70s and early 80s. My uncle would buy cars for $200 to $300 and use them for months and then sell them. So I just think that this is really if you look how bad it's gotten since 19, I mean, literally the price of used cars is more than doubled. And even this, I think, is a very underrated chart on here because if you look, I mean, I honestly think the price of cars is actually rocketed even faster than it. Because if you look at it next to your, and this is like my whole finance part of this, if you look at it compared to your earnings, it's psychotic. So I guess I guess everybody's been waiting for this. Oh yeah, Benjamin. Let me get back up here. My uncle did the same thing. Bought cars in the early '70s for $100. Then when something went wrong, he bought another car. Yeah, actually, famous story for me. When I was in grammar school, I went to a Catholic elementary school, and I would get picked up, from school when I was like in second and third grade. Because I was a mile away from my house, and my uncle was off, and so my uncle would pick me up most of the time, and he'd come pick me up, and literally the nun stopped. He's like, "Do you know this man in that car?" I said, "Yeah, it's my uncle. He just bought that car yesterday, but he had a different car the day before." I said, "I know. He'll have another car next week." So yeah, so he will have completely different. He literally was just, and I mean he had everything. And vintage. Are you? Please just stop. Please just stop. Please, please, please. It's enough. It's enough. I'm having a hard enough time today. It's so. I'm working on this. I right now. I am working on this video. For the TC by Maserati, and right now all the production stuff for it is kicking my ass. So that's all the background because it's like literally all those things you see that make things happen, like in TV shows and movies. It's the same thing on a smaller scale here, except I'm doing the same stuff all by myself. So, I have to write the script. There's a script. I have to go then shoot the video. I have to go and check the video. I had to see if I even like the video. I've already reshot it 3 times. I did the same thing with the R body video. I reshot that 3 times. I just got so disgusted with it. I'm like, yeah. And then I had to start layering in all the facts and all the pretty things to keep people's attention because you have to have like, shiny things. So that I think I worked on that one. I worked like 8 hours on that video. So I'm gonna have most of tomorrow, and I was hoping tomorrow to see the Formula One movie, the F1 movie. Um, uh, but I think that I could get it done, but I want to see this Formula One movie tomorrow, and there's like no one in these theaters, and they had the max recline, so you can lay way back and do it. But it's a 2.5 hour movie. I mean 2.5 hours. I mean this better be Ford versus Ferrari good. Go wait. What about Alice says I have to watch it in IMAX? Have you seen it already? First of all, I have to find an IMAX theater near me, and that's good. And I have to find something that I can actually fit into my schedule, which is yeah. Oh yes, of course. Yum, Brad Pitt movie. Yes, of course. Yes. Let's just hope it doesn't suck because I actually want to watch it and do a review on it, but from a car guy's perspective. Why not? Sure. I mean, I have an opinion, especially on car movies. I wish I was doing this when Ford versus Ferrari came out because, damn it, that was probably the best car racing movie I've seen since Grand Prix. Because Grand Prix was a great movie. That was a very very well done movie. Very and it was beautifully done. Um, oh my God, Sue M. I double fist popcorn till my teeth hurt. Dear Lord, man, you must be doing well if you have that much. If you can eat that much popcorn, because here I actually fill out the loan form to get the popcorn at my theater. Days of Thunder was okay. I Brewster or was it Brewster? What was that Brewster movie? Because that was also a racing movie. Um, oh God, a bucket of half cheese, half caramel. Suem, my God, Suem, that's crazy. Oh, I refer to see a review from young G's perfect. What's a G? I don't a young guy. What? Just because my hair is white, I don't have a perspective. I can't have a good perspective on this movie. I mean, not that old. Look at this guy. He's a single man. He can afford IMAX and popcorn. Wow, he's rolling in the cash. He also, fun fact, he also gets $60 haircuts. Just to let everybody know. Yes, Benjamin. I like the $52 small Pepsi at the theater. Exactly. Seriously. That's how bad it's gotten. So yeah, I probably will go do it. I probably will do uh oh yeah, that's right, Ed Rooney. Yeah. I took my nephew to see Minecraft. I'm sorry. I thought he wanted some popcorn. He told me he wanted chicken strips and fries. Good lord. Tell me to go to McDonald's afterwards. Uh movie Six Pack. I don't remember that movie. Oh, good lord. Yeah, Sue Lynn, that's exactly right. Autobot, can you afford to go get your haircut and go to the movies in the same week? Exactly. He's dropping too much cash. All right. Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers. I'm thinking of it was oh what's his oh my god, Burt Reynolds movie. Stroker Ace. Stroker Ace was that's what it was. It was not Bruce, it was Bruce's, but it was Stroker Ace. Six Pack was a Kenny Rogers. Oh my god. I need to watch this. Oh my god, I need to watch this. Okay. And give my report on this thing. Dear Lord. That is craziness. All right. So uh yeah, $60 haircut equals salon. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. No, he told me he has like this guy that cuts his hair and he gives him way too big a tip. Which I need to go see my guy, but it ain't $60. Cannonball Run 2. No, no, no. You have to Cannonball Run. Not Cannonball Run 2, please. That's not right. That's not right. That's not right. All right. So, without further ado, so I got these nice pictures here. So we're gonna start. So we're gonna start with this because Barbara, no, you have not. I have just been talking about current events, why I like BMWs, and then Autobot L $60 haircut. Autobot Heart Like a Wheel. I've never seen that one. All right, and now you're really stumping me with stuff. Is that the Shirley Muldowney? Is that like the Shirley Muldowney movie? Because that's what it sounds like. If it's in my vague memory, I think it's Shirley Muldowney. Tell me if I'm right or wrong on that. Just type yes or no. Because I swear I thought that was what that was. I swear, honestly. Yep, I was right. Oh my god! Wow. Yes, the Muldowney movie. Okay, that's what I thought. No, I don't know if I've seen it or not. Well, hell, I had the other night. I'm watching this. I'm watching uh oh my god, Puzzle. Go over here, honey. Thank you. All right. I was watching the Laura Croft movie, and I'm sitting there going, "Wow, I love this movie." And and then the wife goes, "You know, we saw this together." Like, oh, I forgot. So maybe I've seen it and don't remember. Uh oh, she lived up in Schenectady. Heart Like a Wheel was the movie. Yes. Uh Benjamin, have you seen Dracula? No cars, but a stagecoach in it. Yes, I've seen multiple Dracula movies. Tomb Raider, thank you. Thank you all about that always the thing. Yeah, Tomb Raider. That was, you know what? I miss movies like Tomb Raider. I really do miss movies like Tomb Raider. It is not an Academy Award movie by any stretch, but Angelina Jolie in a painted on suit is absolutely worth the price of admission. Plus, there was actually a plot. Driven with Stallone was good. God, I don't remember that one. Made for TV movie Hot Rod. I'm gonna have to look that on the YouTube. Heart Like a Wheel. Oh, I'm gonna have to watch this stuff. Holy mackerel! Holy mackerel! I'm learning. I'm learning stuff here. So now I had to watch Heart Like a Wheel. Huh? The Shirley Muldowney story. Oh, I know that she always did a lot of stuff with Don Gartlitz up in Ocala. Yeah, actually, they gave away some of her stuff last year. Um, 'cause she was a big deal. Uh, she was a very big deal. Yeah, I mean, she was like one of the more successful women till Force's daughter started racing because Force's daughter is actually pretty good. She's really, I can't remember her name. Christ, I can't remember anything today. It's okay. I barely remember that I was going to start the show today. Rush. I didn't, I wanted to see Rush because I know the story behind that. And I really wanted to see it. I keep on forgetting to watch it. I really did because that's actually a pretty impressive. Well, Vanishing 4339 JK Vanishing Point. Well, yeah, Vanishing Point is one of the greatest car movies ever. The Girl in the Desert, fabulous scene. But honestly, they used I think four Challengers and one Camaro to destroy. At least they destroyed the Camaro, and they made it look like a Challenger, and they ran it into concrete embankments. That's good. But Vanishing Point, actually, the Vanishing Point car was at the Big Daddies with Don Gartlett show in November of 2 years ago, and it still had the dirt on it. I mean, I love movie cars. So they don't clean anything. It's like, yeah, it's just the way we just took it off a lot. So yeah, that's great movie. Several Challenger RTs in there. I mean, Chrysler was doing anything to help promote that poor car because it was not going well. Speedway. Oh, yep. Uh, Wait, it's on YouTube. So all right. So this is that drag hot rod movie. Got a 426 Chevy. You sure it's not like 427 Chevy and a Dodge 426 Hemi. In a Dodge. And oh wait, in a Dodge. See, he crashes and then he finds an old Willys to put it in. Take a pee in the drag race event. Okay, so he could compete in the drag race event. Oh, okay. Oh my God, Dennis wants to see a movie. Oh no, I do not want to see him. Yes, I figured out it was a Hemi. I can't. I type poorly too. It's okay. Yeah, so he's 426 Hemi in Dodge, and then he crashes it and he finds an old wheelie to put. Oh my God! Wow. Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a winner. I'll have to watch that and report on it. All right. So without further ado, let's start looking at some of these cars. All right. So the prankster tonight, vintage green vintage 76. This is his. This is a cute little bug. I mean, honestly, I really like this bug. It's very nice looking. I mean, very tastefully done. Um, California Kid. So I love that it's green. The Viper green. I guess that's the whole thing. That's a really cool color. Uh, it's a really cool car. I like the wheels. Those wheels. That's always a touch on the bugs, though, when you put like these types of wheels on them. Um, that's a cool first car. My leg wouldn't fit in that car now. They're actually, come on, they're roomier than you think. They're roomier than you think. They're actually quite roomy on the inside. I have seen some large men get in and out of those cars. It's quite impressive. But that's a really cool looking car. My God, and everything. I mean, for a first car, that's really nice. My God, that's really nice. Damn. I know you did a lot of work for cars, but that's pretty awesome actually. It's really awesome. So we go. Can I go to the next car? Oh yeah, yeah. So here we go. This is Barbara DeRush. She had a bitchin' Camaro and a bitchin' Camaro, a bitchin' Camaro. Yes, she had a bitchin' Camaro. And that's a nice car. I honestly, it's a really, especially, Uncle got it for her. Uh it's a fun looking car. And right now those are super collectible. People are starting to really warm up to this car. I find it fascinating because um, for the longest time, nobody wanted those Camaros. Nobody wanted them. And now, with the way everything's going, this type of Camaro is a kind of a big deal because you can actually do so much. You can still do all the stuff with the engine and the drivetrain with these cars. But if I remember, they had the weird This car had that weird dash in it. Where it was square. Was this one that had the square dash? Everything was square, which is not the best. It was kind of odd. It's an acquired taste, I guess. Would be. So this is kind of cool. Sue M, why is the plate in the middle not in the side, not the middle? Because in this car, there was no place to put the plate in the middle. You can't. There's no place to put the plate. So you put it where you could. And the state, I mean, unless you had a real prick in New York, that's acceptable. But that's all the inlet grill there and all. You can't put the plate in front of that because that's most of the radiator intake. So and General Motors didn't really give you a provision on this car to put it up front. And let's see. Wow. No, I don't remember that. What don't you remember? The plate on the side? I'm confused. It's okay. But yeah, this is a really nice car, especially for a first car. It's so freaking cool. So this is hard. You guys had some really cool cars. Here's Benjamin with his sexy Chevette. Look at that thing. It's red too. I mean, that is just pure. Oh my God. Barbara with her car. Wait, I got to go back to that. Wait. Oh my God, you can. So Barbara, see the feather roach clip holder hanging from the rearview mirror? Dear Christ. Oh, the dashboard being square. I don't remember that. Well, it was the instrument cluster was square. Oh my God, the roach clip. Jesus. All right. I had to see that. That's crazy. So yeah. All right. So yeah, this is Benjamin Chevette. What a sex machine that thing is. Wow. I mean, actually, it's for a first car. That's actually a pretty nice car. It's nicer than my car was. My car was rusty. This is actually all together. It's pretty nice. Styling in front of that Chevette. Like I said, it's a set of wheels, and it even had, look at that. It even had mud flaps on it. It had mud flaps. That's boss when you got mud flaps. And he was styling the Adidas. That is correct. God. As Barbara says, it's always 420 somewhere, even back then. Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that is damn, that's a pretty nice setup there. It really is. Let's see. So here we go. Here's Autobot Al and with his IROC Z. IROC Z. Oh yeah. I remember these cars. Um I remember these cars a lot. Because it was as we said on Staten Island, it was an Italian retard out cruising. Because that's what it was. Yeah. Actually, they were. I mean, honestly, they weren't a bad car. I mean, they compete with the Mustang GT. They were in the IROC series, which is International Race of Champions, and this was the car they raced before they went to Dodge Daytonas, not the good ones, the front wheel drive ones. Someone once told me red cars get pulled over more than by the cops. Probably. I've never owned a red car. I refuse to own red cars. I don't want a red car. Literally, it's not a reason. Yes, that car was fast. I mean, honestly, that's the beginning of the horsepower wars there. I mean, that's when the horsepower wars started really kicking on. Barbara DeRush, wasn't he just the coolest? Yeah, with his IROC. Wait, my entire high school had this car. Are you Yo, Sue M, of course. Yeah, I mean, that was just the thing. That or it is a very nice first car. It is a very nice first car. I can't complain. I mean, considering I had that was a nice mid-80s car that was all there, and my car had rot. I TBI, yeah, I think that was the first year, 87? First year, I think, of TBI on that car. Insurance is higher in red cars too. Yeah. You're gonna be racing. You're gonna figure a race. So that's why. That's why. They figure you're gonna race. I'll put myself up here so you can see me. So yeah, but that's really actually I don't like that. I'm gonna put myself back down here. I don't care if I hide. Yeah. So that's Autobot Owls, and I like the car. It's cool, nice, it's nice. But this this is Ed Rooney's car, and he said he couldn't find a completed picture of him like driving it, but holy crap! I mean, seriously, holy crap! I thought I was taking on a lot with a 72. I mean, this is craziness at this point, because that's an Antiq. I think it's an old Ford. I mean, it's old. And oh, I gotta go over here. It looks like a tea bucket. I mean, seriously, I mean, honest to God, Ed. I mean, seriously. Wow. I mean, how wait, just type it. How the hell did you get this car? And are they bullet holes? They probably can be. I mean, the car is old enough that booze runners could have been using this car. Holy crap! No, I think that's just rust, surface rust. Um, this is absolutely just amazing. Especially to make it as your first car. I mean, that is absolutely just absolutely crazy. Absolutely, utterly crazy to have this as a first car. Now, my friend, yes, arrest me red. Yeah, absolutely. That's why I've never had a red car and never will. Ever, 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 ever again. Never. I don't care what it is. I just won't buy a red car. I'll buy a green car. I love green cars, actually. Brighter green, the better. But Ed over here, I'm blown away by this. This is an amazing project for a first car. Now, my friend Jim, when he grew up in Tampa, and he's not that much older than me. He's like 13 years old, but he actually his first car was a Model T, and and his brother actually drove it into school. Um, yeah, I mean it was yeah, crazy times back then when you could do silly stuff like that, and the car was small enough that you can do that. Uh, Ed Rooney went to middle school with Ben Stern. Nice. Bringing up the gunk cast. Thanks, Benjamin. Keeping it real. But this car is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I'd love to know even more about it because this is just absolutely the coolest thing ever to have as first car. And this is what we don't have today. Because the way the cars are today, you can't just go and you paid $800 for that. Good God. Well, then again, yeah, that's about what they were for body on frame because that is steel. So yeah, that's even then that was pretty good price for that. But you can't do this today. Like honestly, I can't get a 30-year-old car. I mean, granted, this is like a 60-year-old car, but even a 60-year-old car right now is in the mid 60s. And honestly, you can't really do this with a mid 60s car anymore, and especially for $800, and then the 20 to 30 grand just to have it be a car. Um, let's see. Yeah, and I sold the original drivetrain for $1,000. So that's how I bought the news front suspension and the other. Oh my God! So you were flushing cash a grand for that. So yeah, so you were able to get the rest of the car. Did you ever finish painting this? Like I know you don't have any pictures of it, but did you ever get it to the point where it was actually, a usable car. Like, I mean, not like a closely finished car, like, just a little more fine details, and it would be, a nice little weekend cruiser. Because 'Cause I'm so curious because this is such a monumental task to do. Yeah, let's see, okay. I finished the chassis, had a 283 in it and a Muncie 4. Wow! So, yeah, it was still pretty fast, but it was kinda cool. But never fully there how to sell it. But you got to use it. Well, that's pretty cool. But that's the other thing though. With back then, with those types of cars, you can go and get them to a certain point and use them, and it's fine because the computer's not going to yell at you. They're not gonna. Then it's not going to tell you that you can't do this. Yeah, this is not compatible. This is not going to work on the car. that it's just going to be, a whole. No, you got a drivetrain in the car. You didn't need a speedometer. Probably had a tack in it, and then you could just take the car out and go driving. And I mean, that's just awesome. Go from point A to point B. I mean, honestly, that's a really cool car. I mean, that is a super duper cool car. Honest to God, just wow. I'm blown away by this. Blown away by how what an undertaking that was, especially for like you were like 15, 14 years old. You weren't that old when you started on this. That's just I'm amazed. A lot of hustle there. I like that. So let's see. Let's go here. Oh, now this is Mike White's. It's not his actual car, but hell, I'll give him credit for admitting that he owned one of these Plymouths. These Plymouths were Turismo, I believe. This car is yeah, Ed Rooney did buy it when he was 13. That is amazing. That's even better than me. That's when my uncle bought my car when I was 13. I was absolutely like, wow. So yeah, but you did a hell of a lot more. I just had to do some repairs on mine. Plymouth Horizon. Oh my God. So yeah, okay. So yeah, this is a Plymouth. Oh geez, I haven't seen one of these in so long. So this is 79 Plymouth Horizon. This is the cube body, shortened frame K car. And yeah, the TC3. Yeah, this is the sport one. God. Wait, actually no, was the Horizon? Yeah, check out that interior. Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm trying to remember. Was the Horizon? Actually, this wasn't the K car one. This was based on the Mitsubishi. Because they also had the Challenger at that point. That's right. This is a rear-wheel drive car. God, I haven't seen one of these in so friggin' long. I mean, just looking at a picture of it does bring me back memories of that Challenger, because everybody forgets they made a Challenger that was a Mitsubishi, and that was a Dodge, and then the Plymouth version was this. And yeah, I mean, this is actually a really cool car. In fact, they even went down. I wonder if his had like the rally wheels and stuff. I guess it did. So they tried to harken back to everything. Of course, Chrysler at this point was losing money faster than you can say goodnight. So Dodge, I think, you know what? I'm so confused from roots. Yeah, actually, yeah, that was an English car, the Dodge Omni. The Dodge Omni was an English car. It was front wheel drive. Was it front wheel drive or rear wheel drive? I forgot. I haven't seen one in so long. I haven't done anything on it. I may actually have to do a thing. I may have to do a thing on those cars because they're also a completely forgotten car. That I mean, honestly, those cars are just forgotten. I haven't seen one at a Chrysler show in uh I haven't seen one at a Chrysler show probably in 15 years, easily, maybe longer. I mean, I'm dead serious. It's been that long since I actually have seen one of these cars. It is utterly crazy. Um, but I just, I mean, haven't seen it. I haven't thought about one so long. I forgot almost everything about them. I mean, that's just the crazy part about it. So I do remember it was based on they got it from their English subsidiary, which they ended up selling because Chrysler. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You had the Volkswagen. Okay, they are front wheel drive. Okay, I wasn't going crazy. My sister-in-laws had the Volkswagen engine. Oh wow, so they had the better engine. Wow, this car is it's such an anomaly, and it's like that whole malaise era that people just forgot these cars. It's really there's a whole section of cars from like 1975, 76 to like 82 that literally people go, oh, or even 83, like, oh, those when did that come out? And this is one of those cars because they as soon as they got the K car in 81, everything became K car based. So, everything, and then you shorten the wheelbase on it, you lengthen the wheelbase on it, and you kept on making new K car variants because that was the rule of the day for Lee Iacocca. But man, this actually, you know what? The more I look at these cars in hindsight, you know what? They weren't bad looking cars. They really weren't. The quality control is probably crap, and that's probably what hurt this car most. But oh, let's see. Yeah, 4339 JK. Her and a brother only bought Volkswagens when they moved up to Audi ever since. Of course they did. Of course they did. Yes. It's the natural progression of things. Let's see what I got here. Oh, this he was just throwing in extra cars because he felt like it. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about this. This is the Monte Carlo standing still. It looks like 85. Let's see if he put on here. 86. I was really close. Um, I remember these cars. You know why? Because I used to race these with a 318 Charger, and I used to kick their ass up and down the street, like nobody's business. This car was basically it was basically if Darth Vader was a 90-pound weakling. They would just they're in their Mike White. Autobot, it's Mike White's. It wasn't his first car. He's just sent it as one he had. But I just had to throw up because I just remember. I remember the front end of this car very well because I saw it many times on my rearview mirror. I mean, and that's just with a 318 car. These things just the 305s in these were just it was just weak. Yeah, 305 with a Quadrajet. And honestly, yeah, the Quadrajet, you could work on them to get them a little bit better, but unfortunately, that center fuel bowl, that sucker would get you'd get vapor lock in that car at a heartbeat. I mean, 90 degrees outside, you get vapor lock in that car. But yeah. Oh, the body styling is wonderful. I've seen people actually do good things with these cars. They take and they put a Stroker 383 in it. You know, and you put a real drivetrain in this car. And it's a cool car, but it's just oh my all right, Sue, I'm killing me here. We called it the Smiley Mobile. Don't ask. We were high. Yeah, I'm lost on this one. I really am. I am. And he also sent in another one. Yeah, his big old Ram, his Dodge Ram picking me up truck with the custom wheels that year. And then he also sent in this, which was the Honda, an 84 Honda. I think it's a 450. It's a Honda 450, I believe. Let me double check. 83 Nighthawk. Yeah, it was a 450. And the thing is, I have a affinity for these these motorcycles, because my uncle and my grandfather had Hondas when I was growing up. All they had was Hondas because they were more reliable than the American bikes. And honestly, I swear I don't know if my uncle had a 450. I know he had a few different sizes. He did have I don't know if he had this one though. This is a little later. But yeah, these are cool bikes. So thanks, Mike White, for sending and sharing, because that was really really cool. Honestly, the really, I'm happy for the people that have sent in, and what about Al? Yeah, kicking around the idea of getting a bike. Where you live, you probably can have one. Where I live, it is a death sentence. If you want to get hit by a car, or have a deer run out in front of you, or bad road that they don't know how to pave, Florida's a place to have a bike. Where you are, you could probably have one. You go out in the country and ride around. I mean, granted, don't hit any moose or bears or squirrels. So I guess. Oh, it's been. Oh, that's here. Yeah, I know you have those stuff up there too, but you don't have the drivers. I don't think you have the drivers. We have bad drivers. Like I was driving my F-150, which is 20 feet long. 20 feet long, and literally I had a guy come over into my lane on a clear day during daylight, driving away from the sun. So that's why there's no bike down here. Oh, they have bad drivers there too. Okay, probably they're stoned. You're up in Washington. They're probably stoned. I think that's what's really the bad drivers. They're stoned. So yeah. Oh, and talk about bad drivers. So I'm driving my with my intrepid assistant today. She's going to her mother's office, and she's still getting better at driving. Okay, so it's like I'll ride with you and drive. It's very unnerving, I guess, these days to drive, especially for a girl, it's much different. And we're driving, and I have stickers on the back of the car: new driver learning how to drive stick. And this jackass in an F-350 literally was up on top of us and then like got upset with us because she was pulling out slow from the light. And I'm like, God, man, can't I mean, what is wrong with you people? You're all psychotic. I mean, come on, man. If I see stickers on the back of the car, it's like, okay, cool. I'll just get around them and it's okay. It's just a little much. Oh, Benjamin just sent 2 pics of his of his 80 Plymouth Horizon. Oh my God. All right. We'll go there. We'll go there. Let me get out of this. Uh, oh my God. Oh, wow. Boy, he knew how to get the chicks. This, my great aunt Emma had one of these cars. Yeah, she did. My great aunt Emma had one of these cars. She had some of these let's see where this is. New folder, put it here. So save that. Hold on. I love doing this stuff live on air. It's really fun just kind of doing like moving folders. It talks amongst yourselves as I move this stuff around at this point. Let's see. Well, now we're gonna do this, and then we go select from your computer, and then uh we're gonna go find his car, which is these two. Oh, so sexy. Okay. And they're done now. Okay. So, all right. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. So here we go. We need an extra. I don't have any drops here. F-350 drivers are very aggressive. They seem that way. Here we go. So here it is. Everybody ready for this? All right. Here is Benjamin's, I guess, second car. Look at this thing. This is actually pretty nice. This is a nice shape. Look at that. I mean, that is honestly, that's a useful car. And look, they still have the Chevette. Look at that. You know what though? I can't say much because my third car was a 81 Lynx station wagon, brown on brown, with a 4-speed. Yeah, I'll have to ask him for that so I can just throw the technical difficulty drop. I'm still working on I'm working out the kinks here, guys. This is only show 11. It's only show 11. I gotta work out the kinks. There's more things I need to do, and I have a cat licking my leg, and it's really disturbing, and it's actually kind of throwing me off. But needless to say, so I after much deliberation, and talk, I honestly think that I want to award Ed Rooney with absolutely. I mean, I can't. It's hard to compete with that. So Ed, if you email me your contact information, I will send you, and you can go on my store. It's in the link to the YouTube. It'll be down below, and just pick out a design you want, size, whatnot, and I'll ship one out to you. And everybody else is sending. I will send. If you send me information, I will send you a gift from my store just for participating because I feel really, really good today. I feel very happy today. I do. Maybe a sticker, maybe something else, maybe a koozie. But yeah, so I'm totally cool with that. Oh well, look who showed up! It's G Canada, an hour and 5 minutes into the show. And hey, G Canada, did you weren't able to pick me up on your antenna as you tried to circle in? You're welcome. I'm trying to be magnanimous, but yeah, definitely, I'll send some stuff out because I haven't. I had to send Monique something too, so I forgot to send her stuff. I've been very bad. I'm good at promoting for everything else, but I forget to send out my stuff. All right, Jamie, of course, with the question. What it was the car in the 80s that had keyless entry? It had buttons with letters and numbers to punch the code and open a door. Ford. Um, the Lincoln Town Car had that. Lincoln Town Car. And I remember that because I ran track in high school. Imagine that. And what we would do is that even though you're a sprinter, you do a warm up and you'd run, through the neighborhoods by the school. And so we'd run by the neighborhoods and we'd see one of those Lincolns and we knew that it was alarmed. So the last guy would go and pull up on the door handle and set the alarm off on the car. And we'd be gone by the time anybody came out because we were running. And yeah, the Nissan Maxima, but Ford was the first American car. And I mean, I remember that, and that was like in like '87. I remember doing that. Yeah, Lincoln, Canada Jamie, my Lincoln Mark 7 had door code, so did my town car. Yeah, 86, 87. Yep. I remember that. Plus, my grandfather was working at the Ford dealership. He was the warranty manager. I remember those cars coming in and going, "That's a pretty neat option. You could actually unlock the door without the keys. That's pretty cool." As long as nobody else could figure out how to unlock the door. It was like one of those miraculous steps forward because only a few years before, you know there was no other way to start a car or open the door except the key or a Slim Jim. So, which I got very good at using a Slim Jim. So there's that. I never stole the car, but at the gas station, I was the guy they just if somebody locked keys in the car, I was the guy that said, "Hey, can you open the car up?" Sure. I don't know. I just had a good knack for the feel of the popping popping the locks. So yeah. So but yeah, that whole technology thing, and I'm trying to remember what car was the first one to have the actual remote because it could have been, and that's a hard one because I don't remember when that first came out, the remote unlock on the car, because that was like a giant step forward. And I know that Ford had it in the late '90s, and BMW definitely had it by '93, or early '90s, uh, because I know the E36 got it in '92, but I know they had it on the sevens and fives. Uh, Jamie, they should bring it back. Actually, the Fords still have it. Our Bronco has a keypad on the door. Actually, my F-150 has it too. I actually had to I had to change out the actual pad because it was going bad. But yeah, you punch in the code, you open the door, and always on Fords, the last two buttons lock the car. Yes. Thing was, if you swiped all the numbers a certain way, it would pop the lock. I used to do lockouts for money. Still got my full Snap-on lockout kit in the basement, plus some extra slims. Absolutely. Yeah. I still have mine. I have all. I have. Oh, I have. Yeah, I have a whole. I have the whole kit and caboodle for all the different types of cars, and getting in there and being able to have the levers to get in there, and then the actual Slim Jim, and then the other types of Slim Jims that have the big hook to go around so you could pop up on it for some of the foreign cars. Yeah, I got all those. I always found that as a challenge. So I always enjoyed that. I remember Chevrolet came out with was it the Corsica or something? And what they did is they moved the entire mechanism back. It was in the pillar. So they were trying to make it hard to Slim Jim the car because they couldn't figure any other way to keep it from getting broken into. So they put it up. I believe they put it up in the door pillar, and everything was inside there. So to go and get the lock mechanism out was actually really, really difficult because everything was all in that pillar part straight down. So you kind of had to go and find the door lock thing. Yeah, yeah. Now tow guys have zero skills. Yep, they just bend the door out of the frame with those air bladders. Yep. Yeah, they don't teach. Oh, the Beretta. Okay, I knew it was one of those cars, yeah, that literally they tried to make it so you couldn't break into them. They still got stolen all the time in New York, Jesus. Uh, yeah. Getting into break if somebody forgot to lock their keys in their car, oh my god. I did it once at the gas station, and I got and this is in the '80s, I got a $20 tip. I mean, seriously, that was a lot of cash back then. That was gas for my car for a week, or more, actually 2. So, I mean, yeah, that it was people were very grateful once you got in their car. Oh my god. My friend's sister bought a Beretta new. I remember the red orange display, it looked so cool. Yeah, they were General Motors was copying, BMW's displays. Because BMW had always been using that off red, um, because it's easier on your eyes. They had found that it's much easier on your eyes than the green or blue, so they went and they put orange in there. Yep, the Beretta was easy to knock off the bar. Yep, when the people locked the keys in them, if you knocked the bar off the door, wouldn't open. They stopped doing it quick. Yep. Wow. Wow. Yeah, so it's totally yeah, it would fall off. Yeah. Yeah, a winning design from General Motors. Always. Always. Ford had a better idea. General Motors just had like, "Yeah, let's give this a whirl." Mm, so oh my god, I have a cat licking my leg, and it is so disturbing. I don't understand this. It's actually kinda I know it's affection, but it's almost obsessive compulsive at this point with this cat. So, my god. Oh, well, that was actually kind of fun. A little bit briefer tonight, unless anybody yes. Exactly, yeah, because you had meant the bar that would disable the door latch, yeah. It was basic yeah, so you couldn't it would nothing was connected anymore, and you couldn't open you would know where to open the door. Yeah. So, how I mean, I wonder, how did you actually fix that? Because you can't get the door open, you can't get the door panel off, unless unless you took the seat out of the car, and then you'd have to go take the door panel off with the door on, and then go in reverse order and try to put it back together. That's pretty impressive. That is utterly impressive. Yes, it is a sandpaper. She has a very, very sandpapery tongue, and it's tickling like hell. It's like it is the right above my knee, and it is so incredibly bad. Yep, open the other door, then take the door panel off. Yeah, what an absolute pain in the ass. Oh my god. Wow. I couldn't. Oh my god, with the door closed. Oh dear lord. That's just a pain in the ass right there. Oh, because I'm thinking because they were coupes, so yeah, yeah, not a lot of room. Not a lot of room. And actually, it's kinda sad, I had to take the door panel off. I just remembered I had to take the door panel off my E36 because the window is moving slow, and I think I have to either I have a either the slides are bad or it needs to be lubricated. I'm praying it just needs to be lubricated because I don't wanna do a whole window mechanism. I don't feel like it. I am gonna teach the, Intrepid Assistant this weekend, though, to do oil on her car, the E36. So, yeah, I may even do a little how-to video with it because, people need to know how to change their oil and change a tire. She's gonna know how to change a tire. There's a lot of people I know that know how to change tires. It's actually kinda disturbing. It's kinda sad, actually. Yeah. So, ah, I can't move. I have a cat on me. So I'm I've kinda unless anybody has more questions or anything like that, what I have coming up, I have a video on, I actually have a video, I don't know if many people are gonna like it, but I actually did a drive through the Ozello Trail, which is the, Tail of the Dragon for Florida, and I actually made it I made uh oh dear lord. I actually made an overhead map showing where I am on the trail. So I'm gonna put that out there. Um, and, uh and then, I honestly, gonna do that, and I have the thing on the TC Maserati I'm working on. I have a few other things I'm working on right now. So you guys just keep an eye on this space for those things. And of course, next week we're gonna have another live, and I have no idea what I'm gonna talk about yet, but it's gonna be something fun. Hopefully, I keep on changing the show and updating it, make it a little better. No, okay, no. This I'm sorry. I don't change my own oil. It takes 11 minutes of Jiffy. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I don't use Jiffy Lube. 100% why I would never bring a car that I care about there. When I was working at the gas station, guy drove in a brand new Corvette. So this is a 1988 Corvette. It had like 800 miles on it. He'd done the first oil change, got rid of the break-in oil, first oil change. And it was making a horrific sound as he coasted into our gas station. And look, and there's a trail of oil going out. They never put the plug back in his engine. So this Jiffy Lube bought a brand new Corvette engine in 1988. Brand new. So they dropped like $4,000 because somebody didn't put the thing. I don't trust those people. I don't trust they're going to put the right oil in the car. I don't trust they're going to tighten anything. No, I do. My truck goes to the Ford dealer. I have warranty with them. They screwed it up. They own it, so that's fine. But now, you know, yeah. But the other cars, they all get their oil. I change their oil. No one else. Dennis, such being a car enthusiast, do you have names for your cars? Yes. Actually, I do have names for the BMWs. I have names. The 89 is named Gretchen because it acts like a Gretchen. It really does. And then the E36, the 895, I call Frau Blucher just because it is such an absolute pain in the ass at times because of convertible, and I don't like convertibles. And I just but the truck, yeah, and the Charger, I've never named them anything. So no, a warranty for oil. Wait, oh yeah, what he's saying, Sue, is that he goes to the dealer, but his vehicle is covered on the warranty. They screwed up. They own it. And the same thing with me. My truck's on the warranty. If they screw up, I'm like, you blew the engine up. Guess what? You're replacing an engine. Okay, we're good here. So that's the thing. So I don't mind. Dennis calls this Nissan Leaf Leaf Bruce. That's yes, Sue, and we'll go back to the Corvette. Yes, it seized. It stopped running. That's why they bought him a new engine. Yeah. Those quickie change places, absolutely not. Never, ever, never, ever. No. I would rather you go to a regular mechanic that and have them change. If you can't do it, have a mechanic or the dealer if the car's new enough. But just somebody that isn't in a hurry and doesn't have a minimum wage person that has never seen a car before change the oil in it. Please. Just no. Mutts? You call your car Mutts? I'm confused. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, so no, that's a word of wisdom. Find a local mechanic. If you can't do it yourself, find a local mechanic. If you don't want to go to the dealer and have it. Even though the Ford dealership, I get the F-150 changed with semi-synthetic because that's what it came with and that's what they put it in. And I'm fine with it. It holds like 8 quarts of oil, and they do it for $60. And that truck's a mess to do because they put the thing right by where the splash pan is, and it goes everywhere. The G Cannon, you need to find a new mechanic. He has kids in mechanic school working there. All right, well then, I guess. But still, I don't trust those places. Because honestly, it's because you don't know whatever they're putting in, and you don't what type of filter they're putting on the car. They're putting a Fram filter on it. You're lucky you get 100,000 miles out of the car. I mean, it's the cheapest thing in the world to do, honestly, when you think about it. Um, because honestly, even if you spend $100 on oil change, it's cheaper than the 1,000 for an engine. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I bought oil for the E36. Granted, I got it on Amazon, Mobile One, because they're actually very cheap on there. And $25 for 5 quarts. That one uses 7, so I bought 2 of them. And then the filter was $15 because it uses a special filter. And I bought a Wix because I don't buy Frams. I like my cars. So we're gonna change the oil on it, and I bought a Wix for my E30, which uses Royal Purple 2050, same as my Charger. So yeah. Oh yeah, the price of the oil change places have gone through the roof, and now they're trying to sell you all kinds. Oh, absolutely, Ed Rooney, absolutely, because there's no money to be made in that anymore. It's just like everything else; they have to try to find other things to work on, and that's like what Meineke, they had to expand because Meineke was just exhaust systems, but then when they started putting stainless exhaust systems on cars, they don't run away anymore. So Meineke was about to go out of business, so then they do that, and when you go in, especially if you're a woman, and still to this day it's like that. If you're a woman, they try to sell you everything under the sun for the car, and it's like, my God, guys, have some ethics, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's wow. But yeah, they do want to do. Actually, for the dealerships do the same way. They're not making any money. My dealership wanted to do rear brakes on my F-150 for $800. Their disc, $800. The parts, everything. I'm talking pads and both sets of rotors, $130 at a parts store, not a discounted, a parts store, $130. And I did it in an hour. Oh my God. What's that oil? They asked me if I want the silicone oil. I think that's what it is. I'm like, how the F do I know? And it's synthetic oil. It has better properties for heat and cold. It works a little bit better. It just depends though. I mean, some cars it doesn't matter. Yeah, synthetic, exactly. Yeah, change places always have had their money selling extras. I had a guy that owned my local one for 35 years. My friend was the manager. Okay. Yep, synthetic oil. But yeah, and it depends. I mean, I treat my cars really well. I put it in there. It's just like the BMWs, definitely synthetic oil in them. It's because of the tolerances. In the Charger, I went to synthetic because supposed to get a little bit better fuel economy with it. It's hard to tell in that car because I'm getting like 12. Um, yeah, semi-synthetic. That's what my truck uses. That's what it calls for. So that's what I get put in it. The Bronco takes full synthetic. So because it's 300 horsepower, 4-cylinder. So there's that. Oh, so my eyes. Oof. I think I have cat fur in my eyes. This has gotten really bizarro at this point. Hi. Hi, cat. I wish I could show this. See, Valvoline charges $100 for oil changes. I could do it myself with a better oil and filter for less. Yes, that's correct, Benjamin. All you need is either a good set of ramps or a good jack and good jack stands, because you don't ever get out of your car without a jack stand if it's on a jack. And you're right. I mean, you go on Amazon or car parts or any of these other places, you can buy the filters, a Wix filter, or even the Napa Golds are good. $10 for most of the good ones, $10-15. And then the oil, you have to really shop around, but you can get a deal on like 5 quart, like $30, something like that, for good oil. And honestly, I'm prejudiced with oils too. I don't like Pennzoil. I've always found it not to be great. Some people swear at it. I swear at it. Um, yes. G Canada change. He's talking to Soon. I changed the oil on schedule for regular oil when I'm using semi-synthetic. Never burn a drop. Absolutely. That's the other thing. Regular oil changes are an important thing to your car. It's like the most basic maintenance you can do. On both the BMWs, they aren't driven that much, so once a year. That's what's synthetic in there, and they're fine. The oil isn't gone. All Mobil One at Wally World is $25, and also now on Amazon, it's the same thing. But I don't have to go to Wally World. I can just have it drop shipped at my door. I'm okay with that. I'm okay not having to go to Wally World. That's where my uncle was buying it, and I'm fine with the Mobil One. There's no real tarnish in that engine. It seems fine. Ed Rooney, what's the story with Pennzoil? My whole life I've heard it's horror stories, which of course I've joined in on telling, even though I've never used it. Um, well, when I was younger, Pennzoil was just the way it was formulated. It wouldn't hold up well, and it would sludge. Uh, it was whatever additive package they had in there. I imagine it's completely different now. I know that they're synthetic. It's made with natural gas. It's a little different stock they use. But I just have that in the back of my mind, and I just don't use it. Um, I just don't use Pennzoil. Uh, I'm stuck in yes. Gee, can I used to always use Quaker State. Pennzoil was bought Quaker State, and so I switched to Pennzoil at the time. You guys are stuck in 90s. Whatever. I just have this. I use in my in my Fords. I use actually it's just the Ford Motorcraft stuff, which is fine. But in the BMWs, when they were newer, I had put Valvoline because Valvoline is BMW oil. And now with the flat tappet cars, I use Royal Purple because Royal Purple has a good package in there for flat tappets, keep them from wearing. And the Mobil One, my uncle's been using it at BMW for uh, 20 years now, 15 years. He's been using it a long time, so it's fine. So yeah. Let's see. Yeah, see, everybody. I've been told Pennzoil is terrible. I got Mobil One filter and oil. Yeah, full synthetic. Yep, Mobil One filter is good. I've actually read reviews on filters, watch reviews too, and it's amazing the difference between filters. And honestly, anybody listen to me, go find the channel that actually did a review on filters, or look up oil filter reviews. You will never use a Fram filter ever again. You will never use that. They are garbage. Honest to God, they are garbage. You will be wanting to use a Wix or a Mobil One, which actually rated very high. The K&N rated very high. I didn't believe that, but it did. Yeah, Larry Mandela shoes. The Cummins and Powerstroke take 3.5 gallons of oil. I use cat oil filters. Yeah, that's the great thing about a diesel. And the thing is, you have to maintain that oil too, because that oil is doing so much in that engine. You can't you can't skip on changing it, which is just you know, is a big thing. And the cat oil, you can't go wrong with cat oil filters. They're probably made by Wix. Uh, yep. 4339 JK Quaker State was 2. PA crude was like that. Yep. That was I think that was what it was. Ed Rooney always buys Wix. Absolutely. You can't go wrong with Wix. And Napa Gold and Platinum. They get rid of the Platinum now for some reason, but those are Wix filters. Those are actually high-end Wix. So if you can't find Wix, go to Napa and get their gold. No, it's great. G Canada is stuck. He's stuck on the Pennzoil. It's great oil now. Okay, well, we got that for G Canada, who has rabbit ears for his TV set. So there's that. My God, oil. I mean, it's another one of those things in life. Oil. It's like almost like car makes now. The oil wars. Sue M. Okay, I'm going for my next oil change. I want Mobil or Pennzoil semi. I got it. Okay. I'm glad we've cleared that up for you. Glad we cleared it up for you. Okay, so I think this was really fun. I just can't wait for the yeah, here it is. This is Ed Rooney. Pull your valve coverage, you can. Let's see what it looks like under there. Yeah, how much varnish is on there. You need better oil in the winter. Not that Dennis would know. Tough winters in Florida. No, I need better oil in the summer, because it gets up to 100, almost 100 degrees here, and the high humidity. It's actually hard for the cars to get rid of the heat. All my cars use the highest level of oil that the engine calls for. So my BMWs run 2050, and my truck runs 1030, which is higher than the basic Ford one. That truck uses like I think 8 quarts of oil. So yeah. Oh my God, Ed, you must be 70. First of all, I'm not 70 years old. Second of all, I don't think Ed's that much older than me. Big deal is 106. Wow, whole 4 days. Wow, whole 4 days. I've been near 100. I've been near 100 since the beginning of May, and I have till the end of September for all this fun to end. Look, Ed Rooney's younger than me. He's younger than me. Bite your tongue. I'm only 50. I just turned white because I have a daughter. I'm 53 years old. Please. At least I have my hair. Oh yeah, that's right. You missed Ed's car, G. Now you have to watch the replay, G, because I'm not going back to it. Oh dear Lord. Yeah, I'm definitely not going back to it. All right. So on all this excitement, I think it's time to see. Look at that, 51 and his 14-year-old. Oh God, he's in the same damn boat I am. Christ, it is exhausting dealing with the teenager. And how do you not get gray? I don't have gray hair. I have white hair. But yeah. Of course, Benjamin, my other side gig. Dennis has listened to Howard Stern for years. Lucky he has any hair at all. Exactly. Yeah. But no, yeah, I just turned white. It's a family trait. Turn white early. Either both sides. One side of the family turned dark, light. It would go salt and pepper like 70, and then the other side of the family, they went white, in their 40s. So I guess what side I took after. Yeah. I mean, I still have some brown in the back, and that's about it. The front is as white as could be at this point, but I still have it, so I'm happy. Yeah. All right. So on that really incredible bombshell, I think it's time to how am I not surprised that you don't have any pictures of your first car or any cars really? I'm just not surprised. It's okay. Thank you, What About Al? I feel it was a good show too. I hope it was a good show. All right. So I'm gonna finally wrap this up. Say, bid you buona notte, and go work on my videos, and hopefully have that TC one out tomorrow. It should be fun. It's an interesting watch. It'll be like 15, 60 minutes long. I'll make it fun. And if you haven't seen the R body one, go watch that, because that's a really fascinating video. It's a fascinating time in our history in there. So there's a lot of gold for me to mine in those years. And I love history and I love cars, so it's going to be great. So buona notte, and thanks again for watching and playing along at home. I enjoy doing this, and I'm having fun doing this. It's good, and that's what really counts. And hopefully we'll make something more of this as I go along. All right. Remember, and I'll say it again, but say it now. If you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out, because you will make someone's day and probably your own. So I will see everybody soon. If you liked what you saw, subscribe. If you didn't, thank you for watching to this point. And as always, if you have a cool car or something fun to drive, take it out. You'll make someone's day, probably your own.